one day in, day number one. Now, I have eaten some food today. I have had some treats. The donuts that I got yesterday in the grocery store, yeah, I've had three of them. Now, not all at once, kind of had them spread out throughout the day. But so far, I'm at about 400 grams of carbs, 100 of fats, and about 120 of protein so far. So, higher than my intended goal for the next um, sort of few weeks. But, I'm not really freaking yet. This first month is going to serve as a reacclimation to being in excess calories. So morning weight was 242. I I hypothesize that that will sort of stabilize at around probably 246, 247, maybe. That's kind of to be determined over the next few days as I gradually kind of carb up in a way. But what's going to happen is right now I'm in the phase of the bulk where I'm being refed. I'm carbing up in a way. So basically all of the excess calories that I'm eating right now, especially in this first week, since I'm coming out of a very, well, not insanely strenuous per se, but a pretty long dieting phase. Somebody of my stature now to do 2,500 calories for a few months, like that's enough to burn fat. So in the process, my glycogen stores, my water and sugar being held inside all my muscles and shit, has kind of been depleted. So this first week, basically all my excess kind of carbs and calories and whatnot is going to be immediately siphoned into my pecs, into my lats, into my arms, into my everything. And then once I've made that initial weight spike of what I assume to be about maybe 8 or so pounds, I'll have to see. Then I'll actually get into a slow and steady, probably a pound or two per week of gains, which I'm going to try to maintain for essentially as long as fucking possible. So don't expect a 10,000 calorie eating challenge day one of the bulk. No, man, it's just not conducive with fucking long term gains, because all I would do is if I start eating way too many calories right now, right off the rip, because I'm used to 2,500. I've been doing 2,500 for weeks. So for me to go to 10,000, let's just say even like 6,000 on a consistent basis for the next few days, I'm not going to be able to make use of that extra 3,500. All I'm doing is overflowing and like spilling over in a way, which is kind of basically saying I'm just putting on excess body fat for no reason. But if you're in the process of beginning your bulk, or if this bulk is about to start, or you're getting ready for, once summer ends and your bulking season's coming around, that's almost too big of a thing to even say right now. But there's a few things that you're going to want to keep in mind. Right? For one thing, I think you need to get a fucking kitchen scale pronto. $10. Go with your mom when you go get groceries, or if you're one of my grown-up viewers, just get a fucking kitchen scale yourself. $10. But you know what? It's not just going to serve as a fucking scale. It's going to serve as a reminder. Having a scale in your kitchen will automatically make you think to yourself, like, okay, maybe I should kind of weigh out what I'm eating. I mean, everything that I'm going to be eating, I'm talking. Sorry, still waiting for the caffeine to hit me. But everything that I'm going to be eating for this entire bulk is going to be measured in one of two ways. One, if I'm eating something that's like prepackaged, like if I was going to have like a frozen dinner, or like a microwavable packet of basically like instant rice, or whatever foods that have nutrition labels on them, or if I get fast food or something, the nutrition information is on the website. You can look that up pretty easily. All my calories and proteins and carbs and fats intake will be measured by way of looking at the nutrition info, or by weighing it out myself and looking it up. Like there's scales you can get where it automatically shows you the macros when you like change it to the rice setting or like the egg setting or whatever else. Personally, I think those are a little gimmicky. I'd rather just have like a plain ass scale and look it up myself. Like type in like macros of cooked flank steak and then type in how many ounces I weighed out or whatever else like that. But just by taking that first little step into being a little bit more, not intuitive, but just knowledgeable of how many calories you're actually eating every day, that's gonna fucking set you apart from the rest of the, let's just call them the plateaued lifters that are running around the world right now. Because the name of the game, at least with dieting, it's not intensity. It's not intensity, man. It's consistency, you know? And the only way to kind of be consistent is to actually know how many calories you're even eating in the first place. So if you can't go about the process of tracking your shit, making sure you're actually hitting your calories every day, having evenly sized meals, you know, packing even just packing food for when you're gone. Like when I was going to school, like back in high school when I was starting out, there's one lunch period, and that's after like 5 hours of class. What am I supposed to do? Not eat? Right. So that's where you bring like a little shaker cup with some protein and some instant oatmeal, you know, little stuff like that. If you're not willing to kind of go through that process and take the diet as seriously as you're taking your training, then you're, I mean, you're just literally, without exaggeration, limiting your gains by a pretty insane degree. Every guy at your gym, the top dog at your gym, he knows what he's doing diet wise. And he's not even a complete professional per se. You know, you don't have to be a goddamn food scientist, you know, PhD degree holder of, you know, kinesiology to understand how you can start to lock your diet in to make it, you know, work for you in terms of whatever your goals are, body weight wise. And I think you know you should be doing it too. You know, not just the lifter, but also anybody. Everybody knows they should probably get their diet in reasonable line. And I don't mean no sweets, but if you're eating at least a consistent 2,000 calories every day and you're trying to diet down, and you have you know, you go and you get your crumble every so often, that's not going to hurt you. But if you're not tracking anything, you have no idea how much you're eating. You're just eyeballing it. Look, eyeballing the diet. Let's just say this: that is never going to work in a bazillion fucking years. You know, but that's enough of my sort of diet talk. So today is going to be the first day of a semi-fed lift. I'm still oh my goodness. So since it's only been one day of eating, well, of eating pretty much as I want for the next few weeks, I'm not absolutely as full as possible. So I'd say there's going to be a few days where I gradually get a little freakier, and then we'll reach a brand new baseline. But plan for chest, let's just discuss once we're in there. No lift off, just like if you gotta grab it. Yeah. Yeah, just grab it. Ready? Put your sister up. Pull. Yeah, big pull. Yeah, one more. Pull hard. Oh yeah. Minor overestimation of strength, but that was a good set. The first few felt pretty good, but let's go down to 3 plates. So another thing, if I were to kind of condense what my goals are for this bulking period, there's a few of them, essentially rules I want to follow, which are not ones that I want to break. For one, hit all my calories every day, whatever that goal may be, crucial. If I miss calories, my weight is going to reflect it pretty immediately. But I'm good about following that rule. You know, that's never a massive problem for me. Sleep, I want to be sleeping a good amount. I'm talking like 8 hours average. That's where you're really growing. Now, the training intensity, that's actually where I got to be a little more careful because one of the rules I got for training, don't hurt myself. That's a pretty big one, and I really don't want to fucking break that one. Now, historically, I'm not the best at following that rule, but that's what I'm working on, you know. So as long as there's no injuries, that is fucking perfectly fine by me. That's how I want it to look. And then, well, actually, I guess that's it. Go hard, get big, don't get hurt. Those are my big three. Those are the three tenets of this bulk. But let's drop to 3 plates, do another one. Yeah, not yet. Yeah. Come on. Grab. Just one more. Big ball. There we go. Oh, that was perfect. Thanks, man. That was about enough incline bench. I definitely foresee that my volume is going to increase simply just because I'll be able to handle it, you know. My cue for when the workout is over is a combination of being fully pumped, but also being fully fatigued. So over the next few weeks of eating, let's say calories in excess, I'm going to be able to handle more damage in the gym. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to try to sit here and do 30 set workouts, but I'm probably going to be closer to the 8, maybe 9, even 10 set range rather than the maybe 6 or 7 that have been floating around while dieting. But 3 plates in this machine, I think that'll be perfect. Ugh. 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 I'm gonna take 1 second, make it rest pause. One more. I fucking love this machine. Another thing I'm changing up with chest is I think I'm gonna chill out on my fucking incline pressing. What do you call it? Oh, I do a lot of incline pressing, and subconsciously, apparently, it has made me neglect these really awesome flat pressing machines. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, I want more upper chest, so I better go over there. I can feel my upper chest fucking firing hard here. So I think I've been limiting my chest gains. Even that incline over there, it's a bit on the shallower side. I'm getting all chest. And as much as all incline pressing has helped my upper chest development, I think it's also kind of aided to my front delts development. So I may be reducing the angle of my inclines to get more chest, less shoulder. But one more here, at least. Okay, so I changed my mind. This is not going to be another straight set, but rather a fucking drop set. So here's my plan. Load a 25 and then load a 45 on the outside. So now, oops, if I can remember what the 25s are, that makes this drop set of me taking a plate off very fucking quick. You know, because what am I supposed to do? Put a 25 on the outside, take off the 25, take off a plate, put the 25 back on? No, man, if you're doing a drop set, you want this shit to be as quick as possible. So that's where I kind of prefer drop sets on like cable stack loaded shit. Because instead of going through this whole process, it's just a plug in, plug out. But this is the best method I know of, apart from like grabbing two guys to help you, and then you have each of them take a plate off. If your gym's packed enough, that's the way to go. But let's hit this shit. So failure with this weight, drop to 25, repeat. Okay. Fuck. No chance I would have gotten another rep. Take 1 second. Hold on, one more rep. Oh my God. That was the nastiest rep I've ever done, in a good way. Holy shit. Oh, that's enough of this machine. Let's move on. That was really good. There we go. This chest press is a little funky, but I like it. Let me drop the seat just one notch. There we go. I think one here will be good, and then get some cable flies started. Really, or no, pec deck. I was going to do pec deck first, but somebody was on it, so I'll just do an extra set of these. You know, no need to get so locked into a certain workout that you can't adjust for people being on the workout. Blah, blah, blah. That you can't adjust for people being on the equipment that you want to use. If I came into the gym every day and I said, "Oh, someone's on the chest press I want," I'll just sit here and wait. I think you're limiting your gains, man. Just do something else. Now, if you really want to do a certain squat rack, then if it's the beginning of your workout, wait for it. You're fine. But if you're standing around for like more than a few minutes in between your sets and lifts, it's not hard to lose your momentum. So maybe try to limit your chat factor by a few degrees. Okay. I'm not done. I want to do a little drop set action. Or a little rest pause action, I mean. Oh my God. Okay. Why haven't I been doing this machine more? Let's move on to pec deck, but I like this a lot. Solid pressing volume. No need for the full stack here. This will be a reasonably controlled squeezing set. But once I reach a point of fatigue where I can no longer do good clean reps, I'm totally fine with some nasty ones. But that's at the end of the set after most of the, let's just say work has been done. And I'm just trying to get as much extra out of the set as possible. Yeah. Oh my god. Let's do some cable flies instead. I don't really love this pec deck. So, a little tip for the female audience or anybody of shorter stature. You know, this is not a whatever. So, this little trick works perfectly well for lat pull downs. If you're the type of person where when you load up the weight and you have to jump up and stand on the seat to grab the handle and then sit down with it, this is perfect for you. All you got to do, unpin the weight, pull the handle to your, desired height, and then pin it. You see, so now it's still the 90 pounds or the 100 pounds I was about to do, but the handle is in a much lower position. So that's if that's a eureka moment for you, then perfect. But for me, that works out for these flies because for me to grab heavy weight from way up here and then somehow try to wrench it into position for some decline flies, I'm gonna rip my fucking forearms to bits. I'm no Devin Larratt. I'm fucking sensitive in here. So I'm gonna lower it to a more manageable starting position so I don't tweak anything. But let's get a set or two of these going. And then at this point, I'm kind of just like whenever I'm fully pumped, we can pose down and roll. Actually, I'll even still do a little. Sometimes I'll go like this, reduce the forearm tension even more. No. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. I think one more, and then we can roll. A little lighter, very much so just squeeze focus right now. And actually, let me change something. So I'm going to go ahead and stand on this block, not for any real magic purpose, but this is why I don't like cable flies when you walk really far away in front of the cables, is because it now has all the tension off your chest at the bottom. You know, like having the cables way up here is good for pressing, right? Because I'm trying to press the weight down away from where the cables start. But if I'm trying to do a fly and squeeze together at the bottom, then I want my shoulders to be as close to cable height as possible. So that's where I wish this gym had adjustable cables where you could slide the thing up and down, but this will do fine. So one more set, lighter squeezing on a step stool will be perfect. Just gotta try not to fall off. No. 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 Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's go freaking pose down. Has this entire fucking workout been out of focus? God damn it. All right. Well, that's on me. When I was recording the fucking new intro, I set it to manual focus. Well, whatever. We get the gist. At least the pose down is going to be in nice and sharp. But chest complete and fucking, let's just say chest complete in a way that I am highly fucking satisfied with. I can definitely tell there's an immediate strength increase. Like when I was warming up and I hit that 315 for like just three for the warm up reps. Yeah, 315 felt pretty fucking light to the point where I kind of overestimated my strength for the real first working set. Only got 6 actual reps with some assistance for the next 2, but awesome start. Uninjured, well fatigued, well pumped. Now I get to go home and chow down. But until then, let's take a quick look at the carved up chest day. So you tell me, is this extra freaky than before? I'm really starting to think so. Let's get our fucking color temperature a little more accurate. But nothing to fucking complain about on my end here. Feel extra fucking broad as well. Holy shit. Very fucking nice. Let's get a little vacuum going. Oh my god. This is just fucking sweet. I mean, there's such a crazy like depth effect from bottom of my pecs to where my actual kind of ribs are. That's kind of why there's such a big ass shadow down here. Oh, I love it. Okay. So, as these next few days progress, honestly, next chest day will pretty much be peak freak factor, extra full, water, carbs, everything. And then it'll just be a gradual increase of size from there, like I'm riding off into the fucking sunset. But I don't want to stop posing. Let's do a few more, and then we get out of here. Oh, nice. Let's get in the car. We're done. There we go. So apart from the fact that I accidentally was out of focus that whole lift, that was a very solid start to this bulking phase. But no, I am definitely fucking serious when I say that I do not want to fucking train in such a way that I'm going to tweak anything. And, I'm still going to do my heavy sets, but over time I've gradually gotten better at, well, using the weight in a stimulatory fashion, right? Having good sets, then, tweaking. And unfortunately for me, that had to be a kind of a lesson learned the hard way, per se. We're all aware of all the random times I've like tweaked shit, but nothing major. So live and learn type situation there. But you're not gonna see any egregiously heavy sets right off the bat. But if I continue to get gradually stronger and I feel more and more comfortable with heavier weights, then yeah, I'm gonna use pretty much weights that are within the top range of what I can do for legit sets. Because, fuck man, mass moves mass, right? I could sit in there and just do light squeezing sets for every set, and I think it'd be good workouts, but then I'm gonna be missing out on the real, like, fucking heavy kind of tension that you get from hard fucking really moving shit around. Which, if I didn't think that that would be good for my fucking growth, then I wouldn't do it. So that's kind of where I like an even mix. For the majority of these lifts, they're going to look as follows. They're going to look as follows. Usually some kind of heavier shit in the beginning, like today for chest, a lot of heavy pressing. And then once a lot of the, pretty much the majority of the pressing work and damage has been done, then I'm not concerned with fucking getting as much tension as I can in my pecs anymore. I'm more so concerned with that squeezing kind of burning feeling at the end, you know. So it's that's usually how I like it. And I do the same thing with everything, you know. Hamstrings, I'll do some kind of heavier sets in the beginning and then usually transition to more lighter squeezing stuff towards the end once I'm already kind of pumped and fatigued. Same thing with biceps, traps, and everything, or traps, back, and everything. So, speaking of back, that is one thing that's going to change during this bulking phase. I'm now I may or may not. I still kind of have to think about it a little bit, but I'm kind of under the impression that I'm going to skip every other back day. So I'm going to do back tomorrow, right? I'm still going to do legs, chest, back, arms, repeat. So that next day would be legs. But I think every other back day I'm going to make more of an accessory day in a way. Like if I do back tomorrow, then maybe next back day I might just come in and like do forearms and calves, you know, because my back is ahead of the game. Just in yesterday's final sort of posing when I'm doing when I kind of ran through a couple classic poses, no pump, no nothing. The back lat spread was the best one because you know this fucking the star of the show in that pose is back, and my back is pretty well developed. Shoulders as well. I need my arms, chest, and legs to catch up. So that's where in my mind I think sort of let's just say reallocating some resources from growing my back and spending them a little more wisely on legs, arms, chest. That's kind of my thought process there, you know. Because if suddenly you stop training legs, your upper body's still going to make continued growth and your legs are going to kind of slow down. That's unfortunately kind of a classic fucking state that a lot of lifters are in who aren't fucking training legs. But that's not something that I want to get into right now. You lazy mofos. But that's where I'm thinking. That's what I'm freaking thinking. So, let's see. I'm aiming 280. That's 40 pounds heavier than I am right now. So that's, let's see, maybe 10 pounds in either leg, 5 pounds on either arm, and then 5 pounds of chest. That'd be fucking fine by me. Now, of course, that would be assuming that I could gain, you know, fucking 40 pounds of lean tissue. Not exactly. The actual amount of muscle that I'm going to gain is going to be closer to the probably 15, 20 pound range. And the rest is just going to be intramuscular water plus some fats as I get softer over these next few months. But in a bulking period, to even get close to being able to say like, you know, you're making multiple pounds of muscle progress, that's legit. You know, so if you're kind of in more of a plateaued state, you've been lifting for a little bit, well, you've been lifting for a little bit, then I think that adding a bulk in, it's a good move, man. Even if you're only going to get a few pounds, that's still a fucking few pounds towards getting bigger, more muscular. You know, everybody wants to be a muscle monolith. So that's, holy crap. Almost drove into the opposite side of traffic there. Whoopsies. Whoopsie daisy. No, but for real. If you've been lifting for a while and you're already a reasonably developed lifter and you've been main gaining, then that's where I think it's going to be in your best interest to throw a bulk in. So this is the situation or the kind of progression that I ran through, which is kind of, it's easy for me to talk about because I lived it. You know, I was main gaining for about 3 years or so, starting kind of middle of high school into college, and I got to about like 200-ish, starting from 160. Right? That's pretty fucking solid. And that was not really locking in my diet. That was not really locking in my calorie intake. Even the cardio, I didn't really start adding legit cardio in for a while. And then that first year, I don't think I even did much hamstrings at all, because in my mind I was like, well, why do I want the back of my legs to be bigger? I was thinking some wild shit back then. But I reached a point where I was, you know, I had gotten pretty big, and gains had kind of slowed down in a sense. So that's where I say, if you've plateaued from main gaining, which I totally think is an awesome approach, the beginner should be main gaining. unless you're like real skinny to the point where you should be forcing down food to get up to like a healthy weight, but that's its own situation. You know, the beginner should just be focused on getting training experience and getting his daily protein allowance in. So if you're a 130-pound dude as a beginner, you should be getting 130 pounds of protein in, and then just work out, get some pumps, learn how to bench, learn how to squat, learn how to do curls and feel your bicep firing and push downs and everything, and then gains will just come, especially as a beginner. And over time, that's going to be the case. But you'll reach a point where I think that an actual calorie surplus is just going to be necessary to make continued strength and size gains. So I guess that's up to you. But if you know that you've been kind of gaining, more like maintaining for the past like 6 months, 7 months, even some guys years on end, then I think you might need to be kind of called out in a way, because do you want any more progress? If a lifter is in his final state and he likes where he's at, then that's fucking sweet. That's perfect. No need to grow anymore. You're already there. You reached your goal pretty much. But if you know that you want more size, you want more strength, you just want to be in a state of progress, then it's going to take more than just a protein shake, with dinner and then skipping legs every week. Real gains after years, it takes more than that. So as a beginner, do not feel like intimidated by the fact that, well, I don't really know about my diet yet, and you don't need to know. That's just something that you gradually learn over time. Get your protein in, lift hard, don't go too crazy with the pre-workout, and fucking, have fun with it. But after a while, that's just not going to cut it anymore. So I'm not going to go so crazy and say like, this is the year of the 280 pounder. Everyone has to bulk up to 280 pounds. But if you know that you've been kind of thinking about actually starting a bulk and like you're not really sure if you want to, if for whatever reason you've been thinking about it, I say just pull the trigger and go for it, right? Start tracking your macros, start counting your calories, start counting your carbs, make sure you get your 400, 500 grams per day, whatever, and start seeing the scale change. Because after just a few weeks and you start to see the scale go up and it's been staying about the same for like months on end, that is extremely fucking motivating. So I know that I'm going to see the scale change over the next 6 months. And that's because I'm going to get my diet locked down, keep the training intensity up like usual, get my sleep right, get my sleep right. Fuck, man. Sky's the limit. Or sky's not the limit. There's no limit. But really solid fucking chest day. I think I'm gonna, I'm so shoulder dominant. I think I need to start doing more kind of flatter pressing. I'm not talking like flat bench, but I mean like that shallower incline plus that flat chest machine. I'm probably gonna end up going to this gym a lot just for chest day because it has a fucking perfect array of machines. If you're curious why I go to so many gyms and like though I don't have a day pass for every gym. I just have like 4 gym memberships. And the reason being is some gyms have different equipment, some gyms have different vibes, and then some gyms are open different hours. This gym closes at 6 on the weekends. So it's 10:30 right now. I would not want to, if I'm lifting this late sometimes, I don't want to be limited and like have to go extra early. So that's where having like a 24-hour gym membership is pretty cool. But some of the 24-hour gyms that I go to, they don't have all the chest equipment that I like. They don't have all the, honestly, I mean, sometimes I get so just egoish that I'll only go to a specific gym because I know the lighting is going to be cool for when I pose down. But usually it's just for whatever gym equipment is there. I've been to a lot of gyms where it's a fucking perfect setup. They have every piece of every fancy new like Arsenal equipment, Life Fitness, cardio machines. The cables are all new and sweet, plus they've got some old school stuff. I just went to a gym in Canton that I really liked, and half of it's a little bit of jealousy, but I really hope that the guys who get to go to a gym that's like fully stocked, like literally a perfect gym, I really hope that the guys working out there are making use of that equipment, because it's you're definitely spoiled if your gym is fully stocked with absolutely everything. But on the flip side of that, don't feel like you're fucking don't feel like you drew the short straw because your gym only has like some more basic cables and some just older kind of more grungy shit. If anything, you should stay on. Fuck you with your fancy gym. Check, look at the fucking pump I get in my dirty, rusty weights, like shit like that. Don't You gotta remember, the enlightened lifter can take any external circumstance and convert it into internal hype. You know, you post your first lifting TikTok, somebody calls you small. I'm not saying you should reply, but all you got to do is think to yourself like, just wait for it, bud. Just wait for it, you'll see. Shit like that. So that's kind of my stance there. But play now, go home, get a crazy good night's sleep. I can still feel my legs from yesterday, and then wake up, do it all tomorrow. So I'm gonna plug in my weight every day into my Google Sheets, so I can plot it over time. And then if I can tell anything gets out of whack or if I start to plateau, I've got an awesome visual representation of like, dude, Sam, you gotta fucking pick up the pace, man. You only gained 1 pound in the last 2 weeks. You gotta eat some more food. Worst case scenario, which I mean, this isn't gonna happen. I'm smart about it, or I'm smart enough about it now. But let's say I'm bulking and I haven't gained any weight for 3 weeks. That means I'm not bulking. That means all I'm doing is eating enough food to stay the same weight that I am right now. So that's a problem. That is a problem. If the scale's not changing, if the weight that you're lifting isn't changing, if your intensity is staying the exact same, then that should be a pretty strong indicator that you have to change something. Because results do not just come. Results do not just happen, right? It's literally in the word. It's the results of whatever training you're fucking doing, whatever stresses you're instilling upon your fucking body. So if that stress per se is going to be the training, make sure your training is fucking hard and intense. And that stimulus of calorie intake, I mean, dude, fuck, man, start chowing down. Get 3 pancakes instead of 1. Right? Do 4 packets of oatmeal instead of 2. Little stuff like that, right? But I can't overstate my excitement. I cannot overstate my excitement right now. This is certainly the bulk. So let's just get some rest and get cardio going in the morning. So I'll see you tomorrow for back.